because they make big salaries. Mary Berry had to get the biggest of the big three salaries because she got the biggest fucking job coming up. She got to have the biggest ovaries in corporate America right now. That's what y'all not understanding. This is not going to be easy for this woman, but she going to execute, just like she execute her position as CEO. Watch her. You know, I still got 2 horsewomen in Congress right now. Watch her. This shit ain't over until we say it's over. At one in agreement. And that's what it is. So, science of the heart. Feel your heartbeat through your body. Teach the children. Science of the breath. Practice varying different ways on how to breathe. One nostril, the other nostril. No nostrils, the mouth. No mouth, the nostrils. The mouth and the nostrils. The chest, move the chest. You know, move the abdomen. Different forms of breathing have different physiological effects. Teach it to the children. You know, teach it to the children. You know, we can't keep staying ignorant. We can't stay ignorant. Somebody sooner or later got to realize that if the unity is not in its proper context, it's a wasted energy. The energy conservation laws gives you your maximum effect. Now, I'm not going to go into the legal studies and what's going on downtown in Hamtramck and none of that. But I know the law. I had to study it. I had to be Johnny Cochran in this motherfucker. So I had to study it. I studied law longer than most lawyers before they get their degrees to become attorneys and take the bar. Because I had to be better than them because I don't got the alphabets. I had to know they shit better than they know they shit. I had to explain the rulings as if I was the Supreme Court Justice. I had to learn the law. So I did it. I had to tell you about your physiology, about the brain, the heart, the spleen, the kidneys, the liver, the intestines. So if I don't know about the body, I'm in y'all way. I'm in y'all way. I studied it. Anatomy. All of it. Yes. If you don't trust the man, trust the science. You know? So, I think that's all for now. 55-minute long video. So, keep y'all head up, keep y'all eyes peeled. This is where we take off. Time. But don't nobody be listening. Don't nobody be listening with their ears. It's on the flag of the bays. See the symbol? But the exact one, the same exact one, I seen it over there. It was on their crest. It's the same one, but the background is different. This is it. Right? Righteous Moor over here. Look, righteous brother right here. True, sincere, always bump straight. Right? This Moor right here. These other motherfuckers is Yakub's grafted devil. They the ones made the devil. They grafted the devil. They was the ones that made them. So, I think I done gave y'all enough data for the day. I didn't really go in on nobody like I could have. I just wanted to shoot some shots in the air so they could start cleaning that bullshit up and stop having us think that something other than what's really going on is going on. The gig is up, motherfuckers. Your hand exposed. Come out the goddamn closet and bring me the keys to my goddamn shit. No. Because when my kings hit the street, you know they got to hit the street because that's the rules. Check this out. What'd this say? The true Negro, the Berber Moors. You can't make this shit up. I did not see that coming. I did not. The Berber Tuareg Moors of North Africa. From here. This is where I told you they came from, right in here. These were the priests that, I hope I can't settle here. Seville, right? Valencia. Now, when they settled here, in here, Barcelona, all of this was the stronghold of the Moorish Empire. And they got kicked out of here. Some of them went here, some went here, some went here, most went this way. The Columbus voyage, where they had to go and get money from the Queen, Isabella, and King Ferdinand to escape Spain. And that's what it was all about. So then you got to see when did they invade Africa, right? Because this had been going on for thousands of years up here. This front stronghold, see, these Moors is tip of tip. This is who they was. Let me show you. When they say there was black people selling black people into slavery, this they're talking about. Tip of tip was an African slave trader. He was an Arab African slave trader whose loyalty was to his Arab line. He ain't showing it. Oh man. Don't tell me he erased his ass out of history. Let me see. And while we don't know, what we don't know is the slave trade was started by Arabs. These same motherfuckers. Look, you don't see a pale face on there. You don't see a pale face on there, except this motherfucker holding the goddamn thing. Right here. Oh no, he ain't pale. All these motherfuckers niggas. So before we get too happy with dealing with these Moors, you know, we're gonna be taking this shit to the UN anyway. I wish I could find a picture of Tip of Tip. I didn't think it was gonna be that difficult to find. Look, black Turks. And they had you thinking that the people of Turkey was pale too. Them your Byzantines right here. When they talk about the Byzantine kings, they talking about your black Berber kings. This is what they talking about right here. Your Byzantine kings. They look like that. They ain't look like the pale Berbers they keep showing y'all. The mulatto Aryans. They was all recovered. Now, in order for y'all to know what America was, since I'm here, I might as well do it. America was called This is what's going on. A pot in which metals, right, or other materials are melted and mixed. How is it a melting pot with humans, right, when they got to be melted and mixed, and it's talking about metals? They're talking about DNA. They're talking about the carbon-based creature. That's what they're talking about. Now, in America, if you have a drop of blood, the one drop rule is what it's called, or the drop of blood doctrine. The one drop rule is a social and legal principle of racial classification that was historically prominent in the United States in the 20th century. It asserted to any person with even one ancestor of sub-Saharan African ancestry one drop of black blood, see it, is considered black, Negro, or colored in historical terms. The concept became codified into the law of some states in the early 20th century. You can't make this shit up, people. It was associated with the principle of invisible blackness. What in the fuck is this? Invisible blackness. That developed after the long history of racial interaction in the South. Now remember, the slaves system, or the POW system, the owners who were hiring out the servants was raping the women, making babies by them generation after generation. Now watch this. As well as the hardening of slavery as a racial caste, right? Watch this. It is an example of hypo-descent, the automatic assignment of children of a mixed union between different socioeconomic and ethnic groups to grow up with the lower status regardless of proportion of ancestry in different groups. The legal concept of the one-drop rule does not exist outside the United States. It is defunct in law in the United States and was never codified into federal law. Why? What is it all about? Right? Let's go. I'm going to show you. Now, we know the rule is one drop. We know America is a great melting pot, right? So we need to look at a couple of timelines. Two things in timelines we need. We need to look at emancipation, right? That's the first one. And we need to look up the year of the great European, Paris Island. Now watch this. This is going to take y'all for a loop. Now let's go first. Look at what year was it saying? It was saying January of 1863, right? Now watch what happened with Europe on Paris Island. Not long after that, less than 20 years in fact, or it had a big migration. No, not Paris Island. It was the New York Harbor. That's where everybody was coming to New York, where the Statue of Liberty at. That's how they knew they was state. All right, now look. Now let's go back. The emancipation was 1863. All right. So throughout the late 1800s, most immigrants arriving in New York entered a Castle Garden depot near the tip of Manhattan. Now watch this. And you got to remember, it was 1892. Now look again. 1863, they emancipated the slaves. How long did it take them to get out of the South and into the North? Right? How long? Once they did, this took place. From 1876 to 1900, immigration to the United States. Look, 1851 to 1900. All of these documents, and this tell you about the immigration right here. Now, in early 1800, peoples in many parts of the world decided to leave their homes and immigrate to the United States. Fleeing crop failure, land and job shortages, rising taxes, famine, many came to the U.S. because it was perceived as a land of economic opportunity. Others came seeking personal freedom and relief from political and religious persecution. With hope for a brighter future, nearly 12 million immigrants arrived in the United States between 1870 and 1900. During the late 1870s and 1880s, the vast majority of these people were from Germany, Ireland, and England, the principal sources of immigration before the Civil War that would change drastically the next 3 decades. That's telling you that right after the emancipation, because this immigration is 12 million immigrants from 1870 to 1900. Immigration was 1863. Now watch this. I got to go to my man because he's a self-raised master like me. This guy, J. Rogers, wrote a book in 1952. This is not, now look at the time frame now, look. This is 1900. 1870 to 1900 was this immigration that he's about to tell us about what it was all about. It's in this book. The book is called Nature Knows No Color Line. Right? Nature Knows No Color Line, Research into the Negro Ancestry in the White Race. 3rd edition. This is in the 1950s. Now look. He got another one. He got another one called Sex and Race. And in here, he's like a 3-volume set. Look. In Sex and Race series, first published in the 1940s, historian Joel Augustus Rogers questioned the concept of race, the origin of racial differentiation, and the root of the color problem. Rogers surmised that a large percentage of ethnic differences are the result of sociological factors. In these volumes, he gathered what he called the brand of history, the uncollected, unexamined history of black people, in the hope that these neglected parts of history become a part of the mainstream body of Western history. Drawing on a vast amount of research, Rogers was attempting to point out the absurdity of racial divisions. Indeed, his belief in one race and humanity precluded the idea of several different ethnic races. The series marshals the data he had collected as evidence to prove his underlying humanistic thesis,
that people were one large family without racial boundaries. Self-trained and self-published, Rogers and his works were immensely popular, influential during his day, even cited by Malcolm X. The books are presented here in their original editions. Now, this is a 3-volume set. Now, if you go back and just Google 1900 nudes. Now, if you look at the forms of the people, it begins to change over time. When you look at them, and they used to have to wear the big clothes like this. They used to have to wear this stuff to cover up birth defects, right? And they used to kill a lot of babies for having imperfections, right? So they needed something